Hello guys, welcome back to our today's demo. So in this demo, we're going to add a functionality to the last video we created, whereby a user can request for a new verification token after the previous one we've sent. As you can remember, if the last video we created was a complete user registration system where we actually implemented all this from the scratch. So where a user can actually register, and after the registration, the user receive a verification email, and after the email verification, then the user will be able to log into the system. So which means if the user have not verified the email, they cannot actually log into our system. So what we're going to do today is to create a functionality. Assuming we send a user registered with us, and a verification email was sent to the user, but for some reasons the user cannot verify the email before the expiration time of the token. And we know that when the token got expired, the user can no longer verify the email. And if the user did not verify the email, they cannot log in. So in that case, we want to create another API, or we want to create an endpoint, so whereby the user can actually request for a new verification link so that they can actually verify their account, and so that they will be able to log into the system. So in case you've not watched this video, I really encourage you to watch this, because we did so many things in this video. A lot of things we did here we cannot really explain. We're not going to go back to what we did here. So what we're going to focus on this video is this here. But meanwhile, the link to this very video here is, I'm going to leave it down below this video we created right now. So you can just follow the link and actually watch the video. And the code to the Git repository, the link to the Git repository is also down below. So you can actually follow the link and get the project code, so you can actually study the code and understand how it works. So having said this, we're going to go back to IntelliJ, and this is the project we've created before, right? And what we're going to do here, I'm going to fire up the server so we can actually test the project to see how it actually works, right? So here I'm going to hit on the play button. So right here we see that our project has started, and what we're just going to do is to head up to Postman, or let's refresh our database and see what we got. So here is our user table. There is nothing inside. And here is our verification token table, and there is nothing inside. So now we're going to go to Postman and create a new user so we can test. So now I'm going to hit on this send button to actually register this new user in our database. So this one is taking a while to get created, because I think this is the first time, because we just opened up this project, right? Now we got the success message, which means our user has successfully been registered in our database. So let's head over to my SQL Workbench and refresh our table. So we see that we've gotten a new verification token here. And if we go to the user table, we see that a new user is here, right? And now let's go back to the console. So if we go back to the console, we see that a link has been created here, that the verification link has been created, and this link has been sent to our email. So let's actually open up our email and see. So right here we see verification, email verification, right? And if we open this up, we're going to see, let's open it up. System is freezing. So right here we see that we have gotten a verification email, right? So let's actually verify our email. So we see email verified successfully. Now you can log into your account. So if we go back to our database, we see that our user has not been enabled. But after the verification, let's refresh and see what happened. So now we see that after the verification, our user was successfully enabled. So now let's assume that this user, when this email was sent to this user, the user did not verify the email before the token got expired. So what we're going to do is to create an endpoint where the user can actually request for a new activation, a new confirmation link to verify the account. Okay, so now I'm going to close down this and also close down this. And now I'm going to shut down the server here, and I'm going to open up our registration controller. So right here, we're going to create a new endpoint here. So please, in case you've not watched, you didn't watch the previous video, I really encourage you to watch this video. That is when you understand everything we did here. We did so many things here. And we are not going to go back to this because it's a little bit long video. So you can actually watch it and see what we did there, right? So having said that, I'm going to create a new endpoint here where we can actually, a user can actually request for a new verification link. So we're going to have the public string, and the name of this method, I'm going to call it resend verification code. Resend verification code. And this method is going to take, we are going to take the old verification code sent to the user. So here we just say old token. Yes, sorry, yeah, the token. We're going to take the old token that we've sent embedded in that verification link to the user. And here we're going to have the HTTP servlet request. And this we're going to call request. Right. And now this one is going to be a parameter. It's going to be a request param, right? Token. So it's going to be a request param, just like this. And now what we're going to do, so what we're going to do is we're going to generate, after getting the old token through the link, so we're going to generate a new token and replace the old token with the new one. So for that, we're just going to call the verification token entity to generate a new one for us. And this method we're creating here right now is not yet in existence. So what we're going to do is to create this method in the user service class. So now this method, I'm just going to call it generate new verification token. Generate new verification token. And we are going to take the old token. And here, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. So, and also I'm going to break this down so we can see the end of what we're doing, right? So before we move further, we're just going to I'm going to create this method first in our user service. So let's get it from the interface. And let's actually go back here to implement the methods. So here I'm going to implement the method here. So now what we're just going to do, we are going to find our database to see if this token actually exists in our database, right? So if the token exists, if this token is found in the database, then we're going to generate a new token to replace it, right? So for that, we're going to say verification token. So we're going to call the token repository to find by token and pass in the old token. So now we have gotten a new token. We have gotten the old token from the database, right? So what we're going to do is to replace this token with a new generated one, right? So we're just going to say verification token, verification token dot set token. So it's necessary you can do some necessary check here. You can do some check here before going further, right? So here we're just going to go straight and say we're going to set this to a new one. So we're going to say UH dot random dot to string. Yeah. So now we have gotten this, and so we have gotten this. So now we're also going to set the expiration time. Dot set expiration time, and for this we are going to get a handle of the object of this verification token, the token. Let me just call this verification token time equals new verification token here. But this one, I'm just going to shorten this. Let me just use the var keyword to make it short. So now we're just going to come here to say verification token time dot get token expiration time. So all this method all this what we've done in our previous video, so you can just watch the video to understand what we actually did here, right? The link is below this video. So now what we just did here was that we used the old token to find the old token from the database, and then we generated a new token to replace the old token, and also we set the expiration time to the new expiration time, right? So after that, we're going to save back the token into our database. So for that, we're just going to call the token repository to actually save the token, right? Verification token. Okay, so I think this is all we need here. So let's go back to our registration controller to continue with the implementation of this. So now coming back here, we're going to, so now that we have gotten a brand new token here, so we're going to get the user out of this token, right? So for that, I'm going to say user equals verification token dot get user right here. So that after that, we're going to create a method to resend a method that will resend the verification email to the user, right? So this one I'm just going to call this name of this method resend verification email. Sorry, the name of this one's supposed to, verification token, not code. Is that what I created here? Okay. So here I'm just going to say resend verification token email. We're going to add email to this, and now we're going to have the user, and we're going to have the application URL, this one we just created. So we're going to say application URL. Excuse me. And we're going to pass in the request, this one here. The request. And also we're going to have the verification token. Right here. So this is what we have here. So now if everything went successfully, so we're going to return a message to the user. Return, we're just going to return a string to the user, a message to the user that says a new verification link has been sent to your email. Sent to your email. You can just customize a message. It's not necessarily long. Please check to complete your registration. So please check to complete your registration. So this one here, I'm just going to break it down. Just break it down here. So this is a new verification link has been sent to your email. Please check to complete your registration. Cool. So we can just say to activate your account. Anything, this is just a demo, right? To activate your account. Cool. So what we're just going to do here is to actually create this method. We're going to create this method down here. Yeah. And I'm just going to break this down. So what we're going to do here is to actually build the URL that we're going to send. So for that, I'm going to copy the URL we built last time from the listener, right? Because the listener was the one that actually sent the email, right, last time. So now I'm going to copy this here and go back here, and I'm going to paste it here. But for this, I'm going to use this URL direct like this. So I'm just going to use it like so, right? And yeah. So having done that, so we're going to call the event listener to actually send the email here. So for that, we're going to take a handle of this object, of this class. So for that, I'm going to go up here to actually get a reference to the object of this class. So we're going to say private registration complete event listener. And this one I'm going to call event listener. And we're going to inject it. So I'm just going to make it final here so that it can be injected through this annotation, right? So right here, we're just going to send the email. So then we're going to say event listener dot send verification email. And now we're going to pass in the URL we just created, right? Like so. And also we're just going to, I'm going to go here again so that we can actually log what we got in the console, so we actually see what we are sending to the user, right? Like so. Now we're going to throw the exception, and also we're going to come here to throw the exception, right? We're supposed to handle this exception in a real life scenario. It's good we handle the exception, right? So that we can actually know what is going on. But for this demo purpose, we're just going to throw the exception. No need to waste time to handle exception. Okay, so I think this is what we need. And now this method is going to be a get mapping here. And this one I'm going to call, this endpoint I'm going to call resend verification email. That's going to be the name, right? Sorry, resend. verification token. Let's say token. So this one is going to be the name of this. It's going to be the endpoint. Name of the endpoint, right? Now, I think this is all we need to do right now. So let's test run our application to see what we got so far, right? Okay, so I'm going to hit on the play button. Okay, so we can see that our project has started successfully, and now I'm going to go to, let's head up to our database to refresh, and we'll see everything is gone here. Okay, and now the reason why our database was cleared up because of our configuration last time, right? So it's not new. That is what we said here, because of the testing purpose. So anytime we run the project, it's going to recreate the table to lost everything we got. So this is just for testing purpose, right? So let's close this. And now I'm going to head up to Postman, so we can actually create. So we can actually create a new user. So now let's create another user. Let's recreate the user, so to speak. It's going to take some minutes to some seconds to create. It's really getting too slow. My system is getting slow. I don't know why. Okay. So now we've gotten the success message, and let's go back to our database and see what we got. So right here we got the token generated, and we got the new user created, right here. And now let's check. Let's go back to the console and see if we got any, if we have gotten any email generated for us. Okay, so right here we see the link. We have seen the email link that has been sent to our email. So let's check our email to confirm this link. Okay, so here we got one message, and here the email we got from the registration portal, which is our application, right? So this one is sent less than a minute ago. Now I made a mistake. This link is going to expire after 15 minutes, right? So now let's just activate this before we. So now email verified successfully. Now you can log into your account. So if we go here to refresh our database, we see that our user is enabled. So user is enabled. But what I'm trying to do here is that I'm going to change the expiration time of this token, so that we can actually test our new function, right? So right here, this is the verification token entity, and this is the time we set for the expiration. So I'm going to change this to 1 minute. Okay, change this to 1 minute so that it can actually we can actually verify this. So having done this, now I'm going to start up our server so we can test our application again. Okay, the application has started, and I'm going to close this down. So let's what's wrong with my mouse? So right now let's refresh this, and you see everything is gone. So we're going to go back to Postman and recreate a new user. But before then, I'm going to delete the email. I'm going to delete this email we received last time. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with my mouse? Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Yeah. Right now we got no email. So now we're going to recreate this user. It's going to take a few seconds to be created. And right here we got the success message, and let's head let's head over back to our post database and refresh. We got a new token, and we got a new user, right? So now let's go back to our email. So now we have gotten a new verification email, right? But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to wait for this email to get expired so we can actually see the message. So when this email expires, we're going to see a message we configured. I'm going to close this down. So when that email got expired, we're going to see here, we're going to see this message here, invalid verification link, which is from this verified email. So if the token expired, we're going to see this link, this message. So that is what I want to see. So now I'm going to leave this to expire. After 1 minute, it's going to expire. So we're going to come back after 1 minute to continue our process. Okay guys, you're welcome back. So now we can see that our verification email has expired. This is 2 minutes already. You know, last time we set the expiration time to 1 minute, right? So now if we click on this link, we are going to see a message. So here we got the invalid verification link, right? So now, right now, the user can no longer verify the email. And if the user is not enabled here, it cannot log in, right? And now the link has expired. So what we're going to do here is to provide a link here so that the user can request for a new verification link where they can verify their email, right? So that's what we're going to do right now. So for that, I'm going to shut down the server. And now this is the message that was returned to the browser. So now I'm going to add a link here so that this guy can actually return the link alongside with this message, right? So now I'm just going to add a link. href, this is just plain HTML as usual. Now this is like this. So I'm trying to build up the link here. Now I'm going to just pass in the URL here, and haven't done this. I'm going to set the message here, get a new verification link. Okay, and this one here, I'm just going to close it down. This is the link, right? The hyperlink. What happened here? Okay, sorry, I've not closed the string. I think I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. I hope we can see this clearly, right? I hope it's not too small. Okay, so now we have embedded the link here. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to build this URL here. So for that, I'm just going to come up here, and here we're going to include the link, right? We're going to build the link. So here we're going to have the string URL. So here we're going to call application link, application URL. So which is the one here, this one here. This is what we are using right now, this application URL. And now we're going to have, so we're going to add the link here, because here we're going to specify the link, which is the link to the endpoint, which is this endpoint here. We're going to specify. So I'm just going to copy this here, and here I'm going to say register / this, and this one here is going to take the token parameter, right? So we'll have the token, and equals and plus the token, right? So this token here, I'm just going to end this here, which is this token here. And now we're going to have the object of the HTTP request, servlet request. So here we're going to inject it here. So have private final HTTP servlet request. So I'm just going to call this servlet request. And I'm going to pass it here servlet request. I think this all we got to get the link created. Now we're going to so let's run our application again and see what we got. Okay, I think we are in good shape. Cross check the link, the token. Okay, so let's run it again. So here we see that our application has started running. And let's go back to our database to refresh. So now we lost everything. Again, we lost everything. And now let's go back to Postman and recreate our user. Okay, so we're going to have the success message. So now we got the success message, which means the user has been created in our database. So let's refresh right here, and let's refresh the user right here. So now let's go back to our email and see. So right here we receive a new verification email right here. Less than a minute ago. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to allow this link to expire so we can actually see the message we are looking for. So we're going to go back. We're going to come back here after 1 minute. Okay, guys, welcome back. So now we can see that our verification email has expired, right? The link has expired because we set the link to expire after 1 minute, right? Here, if you remember right here, last time where is it? This here, we set this to 1 minute, the expiration time to 1 minute. So now here in our email here is more than 1 minute already, which means this email is expired. So now let's try to activate our account after the expiration of the token. So here we get this message, invalid verification link. Get a new verification link. You can just customize any message here, right? This is just for the demo purpose. So now let's click on this to actually get a new verification link. So here we can see a new verification link has been sent to your email. Please check to activate your account. So this is the message we set last time here. So this was the message we set here. Where is it? A new verification link has been sent to your email. Please check to activate your account, which means this email has been resent. The token has been resent successfully. So let's go back to our account, right? And now we got a new verification link. So let's click on this. So here, this is less than a minute ago. This was the one that was expired, right? So now let's actually click on this. Before we click on this, let's go back to our database and refresh the user. We'll see that this user has not been enabled because the first link that was sent has expired, right? So now let's quickly go here before it expires again. So now I'm going to click on this link and verify our registration, right? What happened here? Why are we having this? Let me check what is happening here. Okay, maybe something happened here. Sorry guys. Let me check the console to see what actually happened here. The token is not really I can't really no put exception because verification token don't get user. The token is none. Okay, so let me pause this video and find out what happened. Okay guys, I found the problem. The mistake was here. So this one here is supposed to be string, supposed to be the token string, but here we are passing the object, right? So what we just need to do here is to actually get the token. So actually get the token from here. Okay, so now I'm going to restart our project and see what we got. So now our application has started successfully. So what we're just going to do again is to go back to Postman and we're going to recreate our user since we have lost the one we've gotten in the database. So right here, I'm going to click on resend to create our user again. And this one also is going to take some seconds to get created. Okay, we got the success message, which means our user has been registered successfully. So quickly, let's flip back to our SQL workbench and actually refresh to see what we got. So right here, we got the user on enabled, right? And right here, we got a new verification token. You see here, so this one is a new one created for us. So let's quickly head over to our email to see what we got. So right here, we got a new verification email. And as usual, I'm going to leave this email to expire. So we're going to leave it for 1 minute or maybe 2 minutes. So it got expired so we can actually see the message. We can actually test what we're looking for, right? So we're going to come back here after a few minutes. Okay guys, welcome back. So now we've seen that our token has expired again. So now we're going to click on this to actually see the message we're looking for. Okay, cool. So now we have invalid verification token, get a new verification token. So I'm just going to click on this. Cool. So now we see that a new verification token has been sent. Please check to confirm. So now let's check our email. So here we got a new verification link. So we can look at this here less than a minute ago. So now let's actually, before we verify, let's go back to our database to make sure the user is still there. So now we see that the user has not been enabled. So now let's quickly go back to our email before the link expires. So now let's click on this. So here we have email verified successfully. Now you can log into your account. So let's actually go back to our database and refresh. So now you see that the user has been enabled, right? Okay, cool, right? So this actually, so now the goal of today's demo has been met, right? A functionality to resend a verification email to the user when the one we've sent before has expired, right? So that was what we did here, and we're able to resend the verification email to the user. So like I said, this project we did so many things in the previous video we created. We did so many things here that is where we created all these classes and we did all the configuration there. So I really encourage you to follow the link below to watch this video. Okay, to watch this video. So thank you guys for coming, and this actually brings us to the end of today's demo. And we have there are a lot of demo we're going to have, on this channel from time to time. So thank you for supporting me, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to do that. And please don't forget to like my videos, and don't forget to share my videos with your friends. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you in our subsequent videos. Thank you, and goodbye.